Welcome to Strange Happenings, the paranormal podcast where I, Minx Laura 123, will take you on a journey into the mysterious and unexplained. Join me as I delve into the world of the supernatural, share chilling stories, and explore the inexplicable occurrences that continue to baffle and captivate us. Get ready to question reality and embrace the eerie as we unravel the threads of strange happenings together. Welcome to episode 1 of the Strange Happenings podcast. I'm your host, Minx Laura 123. I'm so excited to be doing this podcast. I've wanted to do one for absolutely ages, and now I'm actually doing it. So I hope that I'm going to enjoy it, and more importantly, I hope you are going to enjoy listening to it. So why am I doing this podcast, and why the theme? So strange things happen around us all of the time. I mean, I've experienced, as have many people I know, strange occurrences. And this has sparked a lifelong interest in the strange, supernatural and unexplained. And this is why I want to share my interest with you. And together we can explore strange happenings. So this podcast is going to be fortnightly on a Thursday. And each episode will feature multiple topics and points to discuss. I really want you, yes you, to be involved in this podcast. I don't want it to just be about, you listening to me ramble on about the unexplained. It's about sharing and discussing, your experiences with myself and with your fellow listeners. If you have a story or a question or a topic you wish to discuss, please, contact me on any of my social media platforms. Alternatively, you can email me at minxlaura123@gmail.com. Oh, but please put strange happenings in the subject. So yeah, it's really exciting. Let's get started. So what is coming up on episode 1? Well, first of all, I'm going to be talking about my personal experiences of the paranormal and how I live in a haunted house. Yes, you heard correctly, a haunted house. Also coming up, recently trending strange news from around the world, facts about AI that you might not know, and should we be worried about AI taking over the world? Because do you know what? I sit and worry about things like that. Do you? Do you ever think that? Also, famous, haunted, possessed, scary dolls. And all things space with my resident spaceman, Nathan, who is actually my fiance as well. Also, I'll be doing some shout outs. I put on my social media that I was going to be doing this podcast, and I said, does anyone want to shout out? So I've got a few people that I'm going to shout out, and if you would like me to give you a shout out in the future in episodes, please do let me know. Get in touch. As I say, I really want you to be involved in this. Okay, I really want it to be kind of like our podcast. I'm doing this podcast on my own kind of thing most of the time, so I want you to get involved as much as you can. Okay, so I will say I do have my trusty notebook here. I do need my notes. I have a terrible memory and I can't remember much, so I do need my notes. So if you hear some page turning from time to time, I apologise in advance. So let's start by getting spooky central. So yes, I live in a haunted house, and I'll be talking about that and some of the things that have happened in the house. And yeah, I think when I was younger, I didn't really discuss my interest in the paranormal with people because I kind of felt a bit embarrassed, people would mock me and I'd be like, But now as I've got older, I've kind of got more open about my interest in the paranormal. I watch a lot of like paranormal ghost hunting TV shows, and I read a lot of ghosty books, and I'm just fascinated, by the paranormal. And now I'm like open about it, and it's great. I think it's become more acceptable. I think over the years people have sort of found it easier to talk about if they've had a spooky encounter. And yes, there'll be the non-believers, people who will mock us, but you know what? That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own views and stuff. But I honestly believe there is something out there. There's something paranormal. I do believe there are ghosts. And as I say, I live in a haunted house, but I've been into this stuff since I was really young. And I'm 44 years old now, or as I like to say, 44 years young. And I'm still into it. So it's a long, long time I've been into the paranormal. So I've got some notes here of paranormal experiences that I've had from when I was younger up till now. And there's probably loads more, if I'm honest, but I just can't remember everything. No doubt, as soon as I finish recording this, I'll be like, oh, what about that? What about that? Is going to happen. But if it does, I'll jot down my notes and feature them in a future episode. But these are things that kind of stood out to me, my memories about paranormal stuff. So first of all, when I was a kid, I was terrified of my bedroom. Weirdly, now it's actually my favourite room in the house. Like, I feel super comfortable and, you know, all my stuff's in there. I love my bedroom. But when I was younger, I was terrified. And I remember when it used to get to bedtime, you know, mum and dad would be like, come on, go to bed. I'm like, I don't want to go. Because the room, I don't know. It just felt like so scary. It felt like, I don't know, just really creepy. I just did not get a good vibe as a very young child about my bedroom. Also, in my bedroom, we had these old, I don't know, it's like a kind of wardrobe with sliding doors, old school, right? And I know this is going to sound really silly and you're probably not going to believe me, but I promise you this is true, right? I used to see, as a little girl, I used to see hands coming out of the wardrobe quite frequently. And it wasn't that I was dreaming, you know, it would happen at night, it would happen in the morning. And I would scream, I would cry. I think my mum and dad thought I was just making it up, but I promise to this day, I was not making it up. I never saw like a body attached to these hands. It was just these hands, and they were like coming towards me, but they never got me, they never touched me, but they just come like towards me. It was really crazy, and I can still picture them now. Luckily, my mum did get rid of those wardrobes, so I don't know if she just kind of pitied me because I was just, you know, saying about them all the time, or she just wanted to change the wardrobes. I don't know, but they did go, which is good. Also, I used to feel someone like stroking my hair when I was younger, not in a horrible way, in a kind of comforting, kind way of just sitting there stroking my hair, and it was very, very nice and comforting, but also quite creepy. And also, what I would feel quite frequently is someone sitting on my bed, and that could be next to me or it could be at the end of the bed, and it was always like a kind of heavy, I feel someone heavy sitting on the end of the bed, or as I say, next to me on the bed. And I've had actually that experience as an adult as well. I felt someone who's, obviously there's no one there, just me, and I could feel someone on the bed. It's a very odd experience. But yes, our house is haunted, and I'm not the only one to experience spooky happenings in the house. My lovely fiancé Nathan and I have seen shadow figures. Yes, shadow figures in various rooms in the house. And the first time you see it, it's like, ah. I mean, it's always a bit, ah. That's a scared sound if you didn't know that. But I think the more you see it, it's like, oh, okay, it's a shadow figure, but it's always kind of scary. But yeah, literally a few weeks ago, we both saw one in the bathroom, just really quickly. They always go very quickly, or past a door or things like that. So yeah, we've seen some shadow figures over the years. And actually, when I'd only been with Nathan, I don't know, about 6 months or something, he was round here one night. And he saw, I didn't see this because I'd fell asleep on the sofa. I think I was watching a film and I probably didn't like it and I fell asleep. Anyhow, and he was awake and he saw a ghost in the front room where we were. And when I woke up, he told me about it, and he literally explained my granddad to a T. Like, he said he was an old man, he was a large man, and he explained, like, you know, his hair and blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's my granddad. Now, sadly, Nathan never got to meet my granddad because my granddad died sort of years ago. But yeah, he literally explained, like, it was like the perfect, even the way he said he was like holding a mug, which my granddad always have, like a mug of tea. Yeah, had a newspaper hanging out of his like trouser pocket, which my granddad used to do. Like, it was just really weird. So, and he said he wasn't see-through or anything like that. It was literally like a solid figure, and it was gone within seconds, really, of him looking up. But he did say my granddad was smiling, looking at us, so that's a good thing. It gives me comfort, actually, to know that. Also, we've heard bags rustling in the spare room. I don't know what it is about the ghosts in our house, but they do like being nosy and looking in our bags. And also footsteps, lots and lots of creaks and footsteps when there's no one upstairs, kind of thing. I think one of the weirdest things when I heard footsteps and running sounds in the loft. And at that point, we didn't even have any floorboards in the loft, so where were they walking? I don't know, I'm running. Also, I remember one afternoon I was sitting here watching TV, and there was this big bang. I was the only one in the house, and it was in the kitchen. I ran out into the kitchen. I was like, oh, what's that, and on the floor, right in the middle of the kitchen floor, was this big, I had this book that I'd got out from the library. It was a paranormal, i.e. ironic, book about paranormal, and it had literally been thrown from the side right into the middle of the floor, and it was a heavy book. So, ghosts, they must have that energy to just pick heavy things up, also the little girl in the garden. Once again, this was Nathan who saw this. He said he went out into the garden. At the time, he used to smoke. He doesn't smoke anymore. He went out to have a cigarette, and he saw a little girl. She had long blonde hair and a white dress, like a long white dress, and she was literally gone within moments of him looking back. It's creepy, right? But I think the scariest thing, actually, no, we also have, sorry, I'm looking at my notes here, we've also got taps being turned on by themselves, things being moved, disappearing, and then, turning up randomly in another place where we know we didn't put them. The ghost even took my glasses once. Naughty ghosts. The scariest thing, Nathan saw a female. He was working from home at the time, and he saw a female who was kind of looking around the doorway. And he said this has always stayed with me and it creeps me out even thinking about it. He said she kind of looked round, like peering round at him, and she had either a black veil over her face or like really long black hair over her face. And even though I wasn't there to experience it, like the way he described it, he looked so shocked and scared when I come back and he was telling me what happened. I was like, oh God. And I've always had that vision in my mind, even though like I didn't see it. I don't know. It's horrible. But to be fair, she never attacked him. None of us have ever been like hurt or anything. There's not, a nasty energy in this house. It's just a kind of mischievous ghosts and nosy ghosts who like looking in our shopping bags. But yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. But as I say, there's probably loads of things that have happened, and if I do remember, I'll tell you in the future. But I'm definitely a believer in ghosties. So let me know, please get involved. Tell me if you've had a paranormal experience, or if someone you know has had a paranormal experience. Have you seen a ghost? Have you been touched by a ghost? Or, I love it. I love hearing people's experiences and paranormal stuff. So please do let me know. And, even if you're listening to this and you're a non-believer, let me know why you're a non-believer, I'm interested. Okie dokie, so enough spooky stuff for now. We're going to move on to some strange news around the world. I don't know why I did that voice. That was weird. But anyhow, so this is so random. There was a bizarre race. Yes, a race that saw T-Rexes compete in on a horse racing track. So it wasn't a usual race day. Okay, so more than 200 people took part in a peculiar and weird event, racing while wearing inflatable T-Rex dinosaur costumes. Sorry, that vision is just too bizarre. So there were plenty of laughs, and dinosaurs were tripping over, rolling on the ground, and there was a photo finish. Oh yes, the drama happened. A photo finish between 3 competitors who actually crossed the line together. But there was an actual winner, and that was someone called Kim from Hawaii. I mean, I do like those dinosaur inflatable costumes. They are quite funny, but I don't think I could walk in them, let alone run in them. Let me know, would you do that? Would you think that's quite fun? But I hope they all had a roar in good time. Oh, it was so cringe, sorry. Okay, next bit of news. So there were mystery sounds heard during a massive Nessie hunt. Yes, the Loch Ness Monster is a famous cryptid legend thought to inhabit Loch Ness. Trying to do a Scottish accent there. Loch Ness in Scotland? With sightings dating back at least several centuries. So a recent event hailed as the largest Nessie hunt in 50 years saw hundreds of people flock to the famous loch to look for the creature. Items used were special drones with cameras and special hydrophonic equipment for underwater sounds. But listen to this, right? Listen to this. Okay, so all these people are there, biggest hunt in all these years, right? So they got some sounds. That's good, isn't it? They got some evidence. Only to find the recorder wasn't plugged in. I mean, come on. Come on, sort it out. You're trying to get evidence. To be fair, though, I have a YouTube channel, okay, which I'll tell you about all the information later. I'll, pimp my channels out, don't worry. But I have been known to, set everything up, film a video and then think, oh, I haven't put my mic on. So I have done it. But I think if I was doing something so big like trying to get evidence of the Loch Ness Monster, I'd definitely make sure the equipment was turned on. But anyway, I thought that was quite funny. Let me know if you believe in the Loch Ness Monster. I don't know if I do or not. I don't know if it's a bit of a tourist trap, to be fair. I don't know. It's something I would like to discuss in a future episode as well, because it is fascinating. And there has been so many people who've had sightings. I think people have left reviews and stuff, haven't they, saying, I went there to see Nessie and there was nothing, not happy. You're not going to see him every time, but we'll see. Is there a real Nessie? I don't know. Maybe there was one day. Maybe there wasn't, who knows. But I'm interested to find out your feedback on Nessie. Okay, next up, from Nessie to snakes. Ooh, something that I've got a phobia of. So a new species of snake has been named after the actor Harrison Ford. The serpent was found in the remote mountains of Peru and has been named in respect of Ford's well-known character Indiana Jones, who is afraid of snakes. So do you want to hear what they've called this snake? This is hilarious. I apologise in advance if I say it wrong, but there we go. Tachymonoids Harrison Fordy. Tachymonoids Harrison. I bet he's quite flattered to having a snake named after him. I would be. I'm terrified of snakes. So if someone said, I've called this snake, I don't know, Minxie Laura 123E, I'd be like, yes, I'm in. But they're not going to do that. Okay, next up, Steven Spielberg believed his DVD of Paranormal Activity. Remember that film? Oh, creepy. Well, number one was anyway. The others are a bit silly, but anyway. So he believed his DVD of Paranormal Activity was haunted. So he had lots of paranormal experiences after watching a copy of the film, including his bedroom door locking on its own. Do you know what I have to say? I have had experiences where I've watched horror films and then horror stuff has happened in the house, like creepy stuff has happened, and it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Okay, so that was the strange news from around the world. Okay, moving on. Weird AI facts. So, as I say, I do sit and ponder this thing of, will AI take over the world? I honestly do. I had a chat with my friend the other day and she was like, don't be silly. And I was like, no, I do think they... And then I had a chat with my dad about it and he was like, you know what? I think you're right, Laura. I think they will take over the world. So, what side of the fence are you on? Let me know when it comes to AI. So here's some weird facts, right? AI can create music, write stories, and some AI art has even been sold at auctions for huge amounts of cash, which... it's kind of clever, but it's kind of sad for the real kind of human artists out there trying to make a buck selling their art. And then this AI is just like, yeah, I've done it in seconds, getting more money than you. So good and bad, I suppose, to that aspect of it. AI can dream in a peculiar way. So researchers have developed a device that can generate surreal and dreamlike images when fed with random noise. That's weird, isn't it? They can dream. I wonder what they dream of. I had a weird dream the other night, but we won't go there. It's very bizarre. It involved an ex-boyfriend. We won't go there. Okay, so AI can play games like humans can. And they even beat humans at said games, including more complex games like chess and Go. I suppose, Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if they played me at chess, they'd always beat me because I'm absolutely useless. I can never play. I couldn't even play drafts as a kid, let alone chess. AI can be tricked by optical illusions. Altering an image with certain patterns or shapes can make AI misclassify objects in the image. AI can predict criminal behaviour based on various factors such as social media posts and personal data, which I do think is a good thing. Obviously, I think if they're seeing people writing stuff on there and, you can kind of, predict someone's going to be a horrible person, get in there first and suss them out and look into them and stuff. I think that is a good thing. AI can manipulate public opinion by spreading propaganda and fake information on social media. So the whole kind of deep fake stuff. I can't remember his name. What's his name? I think it's Martin Lewis, possibly. He's a guy here in the UK. He's on TV and stuff. He does a lot of shows about trying to help people save money and things like that. He also presents other shows and stuff. Anyway, he was I think it was a few months ago, he had some issues with this kind of fake, deep fake stuff where they were making it look like he was talking and saying stuff and he hadn't said any of it. So it's actually quite scary. I do find that really scary, especially with the whole news and stuff, And finally, AI can replace jobs rapidly across various industries and at an alarming rate, raising concern about unemployment and need for retraining the workforce. And it's true, even in for example, if you go into a shop, whereas you used to have loads of cashiers and stuff, now it's just self-service, checkout. And to be fair, I hate those things. I know they're quicker and they save queue time, but I literally have to look at a self-checkout machine and it breaks. I kid you not, it's not good. And it's sad because also you miss that kind of interaction. Yes, it's quicker. If you're in a rush and you just got a loaf of bread and some milk, you just want to, scan it through, blah, blah, blah. But it's also that kind of, you haven't got that interaction with someone. I like having a chit chat with, the person and stuff. So yeah, it's scary, isn't it? And they're so quick at doing things and they could take our work. They could take our jobs. So that big question, will they take over the world? It remains a topic of debate, will they in future start experiencing feelings and things like that? And I honestly think it's a worry. I really do. I think they will, slowly but surely they'll wipe us out, us humans, and be like, see you later. And they'll be like, haha, we have took over. I don't know why I have that voice, but still. But yeah, let me know, please give me some feedback on the whole AI thing. And, am I worrying for nothing? Are they just, nice little computer people? Or are they going to take over the world? Okay, so let's move on from AI to something that I'm very passionate about. Now, I've actually got what I'm going to talk about next right next to me. And I'm going to put a picture of me and her on my social media. So if you do want to have a look, links down below to my social media. But I'm going to put a picture on so you can see her. She's a porcelain doll. And that means I'm going to be talking now about haunted dolls, okay? And the haunted dolls are the subject of many stories, legends associated with the paranormal. So I'm going to be telling you some facts and also talking about some famous haunted dolls. Let me know if you have a haunted doll or someone you know has, or do you think it's rubbish and silly and that they're just sweet, innocent little dolls? I'd love your feedback about the dolls, okay? So first of all, Annabelle, a Raggedy Ann doll that has inspired the film The Conjuring. And she's basically supposed to be possessed by an evil spirit. That film terrified me, can I just say that? I can't even look at the poster, it's so scary. But very good. Next we have Robert the doll, a large lifelike doll said to be cursed, and he's located in a museum in Florida. But do not, if you go there, do not insult him, okay? Don't do it. Just be nice and positive. Be like, hello, you're lovely. Because bad stuff happens when you put him down. It doesn't like it. Next up, we have Pupa. I hope I've said that right. Pupa. Pupa is a doll in Italy believed to be possessed by the spirit of a young girl, and the doll moves on its own. That is scary. That terrifies me, the thought of a doll just moving around on their own. Next up, we have Mandy, who is a porcelain doll. Hence, I've got a porcelain doll here. Not called Mandy, actually. My one is called Daniela. I got her in a haunted mystery box years ago from eBay. And I have done videos on my YouTube channel with her and got some random, crazy, scary evidence. But anyhow, but yeah, Mandy, a porcelain doll that resides in a Canadian museum. Visitors claim to have seen it change expressions. Ooh. Then we have OK Iku. I hope I said that right. A Japanese doll said to have human hair and it grows over time. Named after a girl who died young. So this hair just keeps growing on a doll. Like physically, it's human. It's not possible, but it's happening. Like human hair grows, it's growing on the doll. Then we have Joliet, a doll in Australia found buried in a backyard, believed to be bad luck to those that possess it. Or she possesses them, really. Then we have Letta, the gypsy doll. So she's housed in the Vent Haven Museum in Kentucky, believed to have supernatural powers. Then we've got Greta. The Greta doll is known to move on its own. They love moving on their own, don't they? They're like, haha, we're moving on our own, we'll freak you out. And she causes electrical issues. And she's actually kept at the Warrens Occult Museum. Let me know what you think about the Warrens as well. I definitely want to do more about ghost hunters and things like that, old and new, in future episodes, because I love watching ghost hunting shows and reading about ghost hunting and things like that. So, but let me know what you think about the Warrens, because some people really believe them and their stories and their experiences, and other people just thought they were a bunch of charlatans. So I'd love to know your opinions. And then we have Harold the doll, with a sinister appearance, rumoured to bring misfortune to its owners. And last but by no means least, we've got the Island of the Dolls, an island with hundreds of dolls in Mexico, believed to be haunted by a spirit of a young girl who drowned. And I think there's also the guy who lifted the dolls out. This is a subject that I will be covering in future episodes of the podcast. Strange happenings, because I'm honestly, I absolutely am obsessed with everything to do with the whole Island of the Dolls, and I definitely want to do more kind of featured on that. But yeah, what a creepy place. Well, kind of cute because I love dolls, but I don't know if I'd want to see a whole island of them and they move and do scary stuff. So yeah, a bit of information here. Haunted dolls. So possession. Dolls are vessels for spirits which allow them to interact with the living, and they can be friendly, or they can be evil. Supernatural activity often shows behaviour like moving on their own, making noises, changing expressions. Then some of the dolls have curses. So they carry curses or negative energy and could bring bad luck and misfortune to people who have them. Then we've got origin stories. So many dolls have interesting backstories, often involving like these really kind of tragic, mysterious events. And actually, this has become really popular now, collectors. So some people collect these, haunted dolls for displays and museums. A lot of people sell them online as well. I've seen so many like haunted doll for sale, and then all the lists of things that they've supposedly done. And maybe some of it's true. Maybe these dolls are haunted, or maybe they're just buying an old doll and going, yeah, it's really haunted. Do you want to buy it off? I don't know. But I do think some of these are a real thing. And then, of course, we've got investigations of the dolls. Paranormal investigators and fans often study haunted dolls and they capture evidence with them. So I've seen lots of ghost hunting shows where they'll have a doll and things like that and, do all the tests on it. So pop culture. Haunted dolls have become super popular in horror movies, TV shows, books, and it just kind of adds to their appeal. And non-believers, many people disbelieve haunted doll stories, attributing any evidence, that people catch to just psychological, environmental conditions, or that they're just a hoax. So, please tell me, what side of the fence are you on with the dolls? And have you got one? But yeah, it's a niche market. You can definitely buy some spooky dolls. But okay, right. So now I'm going to do some shout-outs. Right. So I want to shout out hello to Lizzie, hello to Aaron, hello to Daniel, hello to Dean, hello to Angela, and a big hello to Hannah as well. So, right. I'm going to now take you to space, kind of. We have my resident spaceman, Nathan, and he's going to bring you like space mysteries, space news. This is going to be a regular thing. Nathan is going to be appearing on the show, obviously, and just bringing you, because I'll be honest with you, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not really into space. Okay, I've got to be honest. Whenever Nathan puts a space-themed documentary on, I will probably fall asleep. However, I know I know a lot of my listeners and, people on YouTube and stuff, my viewers are interested in space, and it is a fascinating subject. And there's so many mysteries and weird stuff that happens and stuff. So I really wanted to include space on the show because, as I say, it's not just about me, this podcast, it's about you as well. So Spaceman Nathan is now going to bring you some Space Central. He's taking you to Space Central with some space mysteries. So I'm going to hand over now to the lovely Nathan.
Hello and welcome to Space Central. I'm Nathan and I'm here with all your space news. Weird, wonderful and strange. So first of all, today we have news on the James Webb Telescope, which has spotted a giant question mark in space in the Vela constellation. Nobody knows quite what makes up this question mark, but it looks strange. It could either be several galaxies mixing together or one galaxy. Either way, go check out the photos. James Webb Telescope has been taking some amazing photos of space, and it is our most advanced telescope we've ever put up in space. Go check it out. But next up, we've got something a bit stranger than that. We've got UFOs and the International Space Station. So, astronauts are very, very funny about talking about UFOs they see in space. Maybe they don't want to lose their jobs. Who knows? But in 2020, a video taken on board the International Space Station showing the Aurora Australis captured something more than just pretty lights. In it, a strange object was spotted. It was moving slightly erratically in a different orbit to everything else. Now, Mission Control would probably say it's just space junk. But space junk doesn't move like that, or does it? But it could have been aliens. Or was it some kind of man-made secret? Because we know the military do make their own launches, and nobody knows what's on the space launches. So it could be something of theirs. Strange. Now, we're going to head back to Laura to finish up the rest of the podcast. Goodbye from Space Central.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Nathan. That was great. So it's now the end of the episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. So there's that. But I hope it's been okay. Sorry, my voice has been a bit croaky. My allergies are playing up at the moment. So yeah, a bit of a sore throat. But I made it through. It's all good. But coming up in the next episode, I'm not going to tell you everything because clearly I want there to be some mystery. But I'll tell you a few little things. The Hat Man. Have you ever had weird dreams or seen the Hat Man? It's actually a common thing. Lots of people have had these experiences with the Hat Man, a man in a hat. Funny that, because he's called the Hat Man. Also, talking about my dad and his dad, so my grandpa's experiences with UFOs. Yes, they've had encounters with UFOs. I had a good chat with my dad and he was telling me everything. So I'll be telling you what he told me. Also, haunted paintings. Yeah, got some really interesting stuff to tell you about haunted paintings and dead relatives visiting us in our dreams. Have you ever had a dead relative or a dead loved one visit you, in your dream? I have experienced that quite a few times. And I'd like to think it was real. I'd like to think they were communicating with me. But obviously there is the thing of it could just be a dream. So I'm really interested to get your take on that. But yeah, lots more stuff. But you're going to have to wait till the next episode to find out. I really hope you've enjoyed listening. And just a few quickies before I go. First of all, please come and check out my YouTube channels. I've got 2 YouTube channels. I've been a YouTuber for about 10 years now, so a long time. So I've got an ASMR channel. ASMR is basically videos to help people relax, sleep, get tingles, feel nice and calm. So if you like a bit of whispering or like tapping, and stuff, check out the ASMR channel. It's Minxlaura123 ASMR. I also have a vlog channel where I do like various videos, like book related videos. I do spend a day with me vlogs. I do shopping hauls, scratch card scratching, things like that, and some paranormal from time to time. So yeah, that's Minxlaura123's Wacky World. And if you want to come and follow me on the socials, I'd love for you to do that. Please get in touch. So Twitter, or is it X now? It's X, isn't it? At Minxlaura123. We've got Instagram, Minxlaura123. We've got TikTok, or as I like to say, tickety tick-tock tick. And that's at Minxlaura123 ASMR. Okie dokie. So yeah, looking forward to the next episode. And also actually in the next episode, I shouldn't be telling you this. I'm giving away all my secrets. But no, I do want to also talk about in the next episode, give you some recommendations for some paranormal, like ghost hunting shows that me and Nathan love to watch, whether it's on TV or on YouTube. And hopefully it'll give you some ideas to watch as well if you're into the whole ghost hunting stuff. All right, everyone, listen, thank you so much for listening. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next episode. And don't forget, get in touch, get in contact, and look out for those strange happenings. Bye.